Hey, this is Chris, founder of Ads Uploader, and in this video we're going to look at how to use the Ads Uploader CLI. So first of all, you will need a paid Ads Uploader account, and you should be logged into your Ads Uploader account on your computer with your Facebook account already authenticated from within the application. So we are actually going to use your existing authentication tokens from the web application through the CLI. You can think of the CLI as just a different way of interfacing with the same web application that you already know. So it's probably a good time to draw your attention to our documentation. If you go to adsuploader.com/docs, you will see down here we have CLI configuration, and we also have a CLI full reference page. In reality, you're most likely going to be using the CLI through an LLM like Claude Code. So this is a great reference material for Claude Code to be able to ingest and get you set up. So I'm going to click copy as markdown. That will copy it to my clipboard. And now I'm going to go over to my terminal session and I'll start a new session with Claude. So the first thing I'm going to do is paste those instructions over to Claude Code and let it figure out what it needs to do. And I'm also going to tell it install the CLI and set up the skills file. Now it's going to go ahead and read all that, and it's got my permission to install the Ads Uploader CLI package via npm. As you can see here, the package lives at adsuploader/CLI, so I'm going to allow it to proceed with that. And it should notify us that that has been installed and proceed to carry on with setting up the skill. Now, I typically approve each permission as I'm working with Claude, especially if it's something which is unfamiliar to me. I'd probably advise you do the same, just so you can learn and understand what the tool is doing in these first runs. Although this setup is something you realistically only should really need to do one. Okay, so we've installed the CLI globally and we've copied the skill MD. So we now have that available on /ads command. And it's telling me I need to run ads login to authenticate. Okay, so before we do that, let's just go back to the documentation and just understand what just happened. So first of all, we installed a package on our local computer which gives access to the tooling for the Ads Uploader CLI. We're then going to log in to the tool with ads login as specified here, and then set up our account. Down the bottom here, there's specific instructions for the AI, which mentions that we have a skill.md file, which is basically another version of the full reference material, but designed specifically for the LLM, so it fully understands how to use the Ads Uploader CLI tooling automatically. Whenever you type /ads, it will pick that up and be able to interpret and use the tool however you need it to. So let's go back. Now, it does require me to log into the app. So to do that, I believe I'm going to actually have to set up a new terminal window. And I'm just going to type ads login. And that's going to jump over to my browser, which already has the session, remember, which is already logged in through the web application with your Facebook authentication there as well. And we can see because of that, it's gone through and it's authenticated. So everything is now set up as intended. We can see I'm logged in with my support at adsuploader.com email address, and I have access to 19 ad accounts. So I'm going to tell Claude I am logged in. Check who am I. Who am I is basically just a instruction to just tell us what's set up, and we can see here that we're connected to the adsuploader.com API with the email support at adsuploader.com. Of course, that's going to be your own email, but I have not set an account yet. So to set an account for the CLI, we're basically telling it we want you to work on this account. So just jumping back to the Ads Uploader interface, if you go over to the uploader, the account is what we select at the top here, and then we obviously upload the files, and then we go through the configuration method of finding an ad to copy settings from, and then we begin building the campaign, how we want to set it up, how many ad sets do we want, What should they be called? What should our ad text and URLs be? Do we need creative enhancements? So on and so forth. So if you're already familiar with using Ads Uploader, you will find the CLI works through the exact same workflow. You could actually put the CLI and the web app side by side and go through each step as if you're going through the uploader panel within the web application. I'm going to jump over to a session I started earlier where I've already selected the ad account. The reason for this is I don't want to print a full ad account list on this video. When it comes to selecting the ad account you want to work with, you can just say to Claude, select me the name of your ad account, and it will go ahead and find that for you. And you can just confirm that with the account ID, make sure it lines up with the ad account you actually want to work on. So I'm going to move this pane over to the left. And on the right-hand side, we're going to have our traditional Ads Uploader web interface. So we can now go through the CLI as if we were using the web application. So I want to upload my ads into this campaign and this ad set called test ad set. And I'm going to find, let's go for this one. So I want to use this ad as my template ad. So I'm going to say to Claude, and I prefer to dictate to Claude rather than type because it's easier for me. Find the ad angle-gen-11 in the ad set named test ad set in the sales purchase campaign and use that as the add to copy settings from. So you can see that my transcription actually didn't come across absolutely perfectly, but Claude's still picking it up and managing to dig out what we're saying here. And you can see, much like I filtered through the ad account here, it's going and finding the ad that I want to select. Okay, so now it's gone ahead and actually found the ad which we want to copy settings from. So effectively, using the CLI, I've gone through the same process as going and selecting this. Now, it's important to mention here that your presets actually carry over from the web application to the CLI. So if I go ahead and maybe I go to angle gen-15, I think my face is getting in the way of me being able to click things. I'm going to save this as a preset, and we'll save this as the sales purchase campaign preset. So now, if you were using the web application, you would come in and you would just use your preset, so you don't have to go through the selector each time. I'm going to go over to the CLI now and say, I've changed my mind. Can we please use the sales purchase campaign preset instead? So Claude's now accessing our presets panel, and we can see the sales purchase campaign has now been selected, and that is the preset which we're going to use for this ad, for this campaign. Now I'm going to go and find my media. So I've generated some ads earlier, not my best work, just some standard one-by-one ads, which we'll use for this demonstration. If you use ads which have multivariant, for example, you have a 1x1 with a 4x5 or a 1x1 with a 9x16 or a 4x5 and a 9x16, whatever, you can still use the file name conventions to group those aspect ratios together in the CLI, exactly how the uploader panel would work in the web application. So I'm actually just going to drop this ads directory into Claude so he knows where to deal with that. And I'm actually just going to say, upload these ads, please, for this campaign, and then talk me through the configuration setup. Okay, so this is going to take a moment because now we are actually uploading the ads through the tool via Ads Uploader to Meta. And if you're familiar with Ads Uploader already, you'll know that we have an activity monitor which displays all the activity as you're uploading to your account, whether that be actually uploading the media or creating the campaigns or the ad sets and the ads. And we actually have a very similar infrastructure here, so you can actually see what's being uploaded, what's finalized, what's coming back with a successful image hash, and we should receive a final message which everything's been uploaded and ready to go. So it's important to note here, you should prepare all of the files that you are wanting to upload it as one batch. The CLI doesn't support adding a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, so you need to have all your media ready. The reason for this is once all those media items have been uploaded, we assign it a batch ID, and the batch ID is what gets sent in the spec file we build, the campaign setup for the CLI to interpret and eventually create. So you can see now it's actually using a temporary folder to now build the ad spec, and it's creating a preview of how these ads would be uploaded. So we can see here that we have the campaign uploading into the sales purchase campaign with the test ad set. So it's going into the same ad set because I haven't specified anything else at this point. And now we are using the ad names, which are just showing the file names. And here we can see the headline, the primary text is all the same as the templated ad. And we have a CTA and we have the link, URL tags, and which enhancements were already enabled. Okay, so as a very bare minimum, I've now selected a preset. I've picked a bunch of media which I want to upload into the same construct. And if I told Claude to go ahead and build this now, it would now upload those ads into that same ad set. Now this is probably a good time to jump over to Ads Uploader, and if we go to the media library now, you should be able to see the media that we've just uploaded is actually appearing in the media library. So we have that synchronicity between the web application and the CLI. I'm going to jump back over to the uploader now so we can follow this through a little bit better. I'm going to select my preset, and we're now going to go through the ad set options and ad name options and the ad texts, as well as the creative enhancements. So we've already discussed with Claude, this is kind of a base template. I'm now going to actually get it to set up the campaign differently and change the spec. Can you please split these ads into batches of 5? So we have one ad set with 5 and another ad set with 5. Can you call the ad sets batch A and batch B? And can you put today's date in the ad set name? For the ad text options, I would actually like a different ad text for each of the creatives. Can you review the images one by one and write a unique headline and primary text for each of these creatives and build us a new ad spec? I would like all creative enhancements to be turned off, and I would like you to create ads in a paused status at the ad set level. So we've just asked Claude to do quite a few different things. So this is going to take a couple of minutes while it works through this. So you can see, first of all, it's going ahead and reading all of the image files. So it's studying the images, seeing what's in the image, and it's going to use that to actually build the ad texts, unique ad text for each creative which we're uploading. So you can see now it's set about building a task list because it's got a few little activities it needs to work through. So after it's done reviewing the images, which it has now, it's now going to write the unique per ad copy for all 10 creatives. Of course, you don't have to have Claude write the creatives on the fly. What you could do is tell it to reference a file. Perhaps you have a client who wants specific ad text for specific images. You could create a reference sheet which you could give to Claude so it knows that it needs to line up the different ad texts with the different images. Obviously, with the CLI, you can build so many different workflows and build this really to how you run your ads for yourself or your clients, for your agency, for your brands, and create structures and infrastructure which you can reuse again in the future. So what I'm doing right now is pretty much the slowest way I would ever use the tool. I'm just going through it sequentially just to show how everything works. Okay, so it's already built the ad spec, and now it is going to create a preview for me. Preview looks clean, 2 ad sets, 10 ads, paused at the ad set level, enhancements all off, per ad copy applied. Want me to run ads create now or tweak anything first? So it's saying everything's ready to go. And if I scroll up, I can now see a preview again of how things are set up, but it's a little bit different because we've adapted the campaign to how we asked it to build it. So we're still uploading into the sales purchase campaign as per our preset, but now we're creating 2 new ad sets, batch A and batch B, each with today's date. And in these, we have the ad names. We have ads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the first batch, and batch B has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, you could tell it to put ads which begin with this in this ad set, or ads which begin with that in another ad set. You can set it up however you want. That's the beauty of using the AI. You can construct things very simply however you want to set them up yourself. And we can see here now for each of these ads, it's created a headline and primary text. Now, again, I've just got it to do these on the fly. You probably want to have a little bit more creative control over what you're actually creating. But you can see here, first headline, watch Ads Manager crawl to 2% while you lose your morning. Okay. Headline 2, launching 50 ads shouldn't drain your whole day. Headline 3, same 50 ads, 22 times faster. And you can see we have different primary texts for each of these as well. Scroll down here and we can see the CTA is sign up. We have the link as adsuploader.com, and we have the URL tags as the same as we outlined in our preset. Of course, again, if you want to change any of these, if you want to use a different CTA, a different link, or different URL tags, you can just tell it and it will update those for you as well. The skill file has all the information needed to be able to control these variables as well. And you can see here we've also set enhancements as all off. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually going to say go ahead and launch these ads. And it should now take us through the creation process. And again, much like we had the print screen of the ads being uploaded, with the media being uploaded, we should also see a print screen, which looks very familiar. It's just operating through a terminal screen rather than the Ads Uploader activity monitor. So we can see now we're creating ad set batch A, and then it's creating ad 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 3 of 10. Now it should switch into batch mode. So again, the same process which you'll be familiar with through the web interface. We're creating the ad set first, and now it's creating 7 ads as a batch. Everything's been created successfully. We created 10 ads in 19 seconds. So pretty good going. I'm now going to jump over to our ads account, which I've already filtered to be looking at the sales purchase campaign. I'll give it a quick refresh here and jump into this campaign. And you can see here that we had the original test ad set. So this was the ad set which we actually built the preview around, the preset around. And then we have batch A and batch B, which are the ad sets which we just uploaded. You can see both of them are turned off at the ad set level as I requested. And if I jump into batch A, I should see my ads 1 to 5 listed over here. If I jump in the preview, watch Ads Manager crawl to 2% while you lose your, okay, it gets cut off on the mobile view. Launching 50 ads shouldn't drain your whole day. This will sound familiar because it's as we set up in the CLI preview. If I jump over to batch B, you'll see that ads 6 to 10 are prepared and processing, going through that creative approval process, ready to go live. So I hope this demonstration has proved useful for you. You can see what kind of speed and efficiency using the command line interface can bring to your ad building workflow. I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of fun with this. And it can really revolutionize and speed up how you launch ads in the future. All of this can be done through your native machine terminal. I'm using a program called CMux, which is a multi-pane terminal application. You could also use an IDE like Cursor, VS Code, Zed, anything which allows you to have access to a terminal. The CLI and Claude should be able to work within, including the Claude Code application itself, or other LLMs like Codex and the Codex application, so on and so forth. So I hope you found this helpful. Please feel free to reach out to support@adsuploader.com, and we'll do our best to get back to you quickly if you have any questions.